Good morning and good afternoon, kids. This is teacher Gigi. How are you today? For today's activity, we're going to answer your workbook. So please get your workbook and your booklet. Are you ready? Okay. So please open your workbook on page 65 and 66. Okay. So last week we have talked about light, the different light sources, shadows, and different types of objects. So again, when we say light, we have three types of light sources. Natural light, lights made by man, and lights that runs on electricity. So, how about what are the three types of objects? Okay, very good. So we have transparent, translucent, and opaque. Again, when we say transparent, these are the objects that can light pass through. Translucent, some light can pass through it. And when we say opaque, light cannot pass through it. Okay. So again, can you tell teacher what are the two parts of a shadow? Very good. So we have umbra and penumbra. So when we say umbra, these are the part of the shadow that is very dark. And when we say penumbra, these are the part of the shadow that has light tone of darkness. Okay. So for our activity number 1, you're going to write tick if that's correct or it is a correct statement, and cross if it is an incorrect statement. Okay, let's start. Letter A. Light can pass through transparent, translucent, and opaque objects. Again, it says that light can pass through transparent, translucent, and opaque objects. Is it true or is it false? What is your answer? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is cross. Very good. Why? Because opaque objects, they cannot or light cannot pass through opaque objects. Very good. Next, letter B. A shadow is formed when light is blocked by an opaque object. So, does it mean that when we have opaque objects, we can see shadow? Is it true or false? 3, 2, 1. Correct answer is very good. It's a tick because we can see shadow on opaque screens. Okay, letter C. Shadow can be observed when they are cast in the air. So is it true that we can see shadow in the air? Is it true that we can see shadow in the air? 3, 2, 1. Correct answer is very good. It is cross. Okay, we cannot see shadows in the air because air is transparent. Okay, next, letter D. The shape of the shadow of an object changes according to the orientation or position of the object that the light falls on. So is it true that the shape of the shadow of an object changes because the object changed its orientation or position? So is it true or is it false that shadow change its shape because of its position? 3, 2, 1. Okay, the correct answer is tick. Very good. Next, when an object gets nearer to a light source and further away from the screen, its shadow becomes smaller. Okay, so do you remember our near and far? Okay, it says that when the object gets near to the light, what does becomes the shadow? Is it big or is it small? Again, when the light is near the object, the shadow is small. Is it true or is it false? 3, 2, 1. What is your answer? Very good. It is cross. Why? Because when the object is near the light, the shadow is big. Very good. And last, letter F. The darkest part of a shadow where the light is completely blocked by an object is called the penumbra. Okay, so let's review the parts of the shadow. So what do you call the part of the shadow that is very dark? Very dark. Is it umbra or penumbra? 3, 2, 1. Very good. It is umbra. So, letter F is cross. Okay, good job. Next, number 2. So, we have here, Joe shines a torch on a cone. So, we have a torch, a cone, and a cardboard. So, you're going to draw what will be the shape of the shadow of a cone. So, if we have the light, the object, and our screen. So what do you think will be the shape of each shadow? Okay, draw it on the space below. 3, 2, 1. Okay, very good. So the shape of the shadow will be triangle. Alright. Next, letter B. So Joe turns the cone so that the vertex of the cone is facing the torch. What is the shape of the shadow of the cone that can be seen on the cardboard? So, Joe changed the position of the cone. So, Joe changed the orientation. So, what do you think will be the shape of our shadow? 3, 2, 1. Alright, very good. So, it is circle. Next, letter C. So what can you say about the shapes of the shadow of an object and the object? So what did Joe did with the cone and the torch? Very good. So the shape of the shadow changes according to the position of the object. So as you can see, when Joe changed the position of the cone, the shape of its shadow changes. Okay, next, letter D. If the cardboard is replaced with a sheet of glass, can the shadow be seen? Why? Again, if we change the cardboard with a sheet of glass, can the shadow be seen? Why? 3, 2, 1. Okay, no, because shadows can only be cast on opaque screen. So when we change the cardboard with sheet of glass, shadow cannot be. Okay, next, last page, we have number 3. So the underlined words are incorrect. Write the correct words in the brackets. So curvy, transparent, size, smaller, and umbra is incorrect. So we're going to change the words. So letter A, light travels in curvy lines. Light travels in curvy lines. So it is not correct. So what do you think is the correct answer? So how does light travels? Very good. Light travels in straight lines. Okay, next, letter B. Shadows can be cast on transparent screens. So it is incorrect. So where can we cast our shadows? Very good. The answer is opaque. Okay, we can cast our shadows on opaque screen. Next, letter C. The shape of the shadow of an object changes according to the size of the object that the light falls on. So again, the shape of the shadow changes because of what? Very good. So the shape of the shadow changes because the object changed its position. Very good. Next, letter D. When an object gets nearer to the light source and further away from the screen, the shadow becomes smaller. So again, this is incorrect. So what can you see, or what is the size of the shadow if the object is near the light? Very good. It becomes bigger. Alright. And the last one, letter E. Umbra is formed when the edges of a shadow receive some light from the light source. So what part of a shadow receives some light from the light source? So it is not umbra, meaning to say it is penumbra. Okay, very good. So that's all for today. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.